In the far southwest of Ethiopia, there is a boy people come from all over the world to photograph. He is famous for his bright blue eyes, and he grew up here, in the Omo Valley. I've spent a few days here with my friends, traveling through the valley and spending time with the hammer, the dasanach, and the karo. It has been so fascinating to learn about their traditions and way of life, and sometimes a bit difficult to understand too. And today, on our last day in the Omo Valley, we are going to visit the Mursi, who are known for their lip plates and scarification. And we'll be going there with a special person. Welcome back to Project Africa. On our first day here, after landing in Jinka, we were walking around town and met Amanuel. We told him a bit about us, how we're cycling across Africa, and how crazy Ethiopia's been so far, especially with the kids.
When I was young, I was saying to the tourists, you, money. I'm learning English. They like white person. When they see you means white guy.
Really?
Yeah, white guy. So they call all of the tourists, you, money. They're like trying to play with them. They don't really need the money.
Now, we're back here after a few days camping. We met up and he tells us we should meet his friend.
Trying to find the blue eyes, yeah.
Trying to find the blue eyes, Abuche. Abuche is somewhere around
We're
the city.
We're gonna catch him.
We're gonna catch him. Where is he?
While we went looking for him in town, he had actually walked to our guest house and we somehow missed him. Gideon and I invite both of them to dinner.
Emmanuel behind the camera right there.
fried but Amanuel منه.
This is the blue eyes, Abuche.
Okay, do you want to come closer a little bit? Alright. Hi guys.
My name is Abuche.
Abuche. He's a very special person. We met him here in Jinka, which is the city where we flew to go to Omo Valley. We saw him a bunch of times and hung out with him off camera and asked him so many questions, and his story is incredible and I really want to share it with you guys. Abuche is very famous for his blue eyes. People call him Blue Eyes. It's very, very rare. Actually, his cousin and his mother also have the same eyes. People from all over the world come here to take his picture.
This blue eye, beautiful and photographer. I come you this picture. Give you money.
Yeah.
My mother one blue eye, one black eye.
Really?
Yeah, my brother is same eye, two blue, one blue eye.
I guess he's kind of famous, and that's a good thing, right? Well, there is a sad side to this story. He's been living in the streets since he was 4 years old.
When he was 4 years old, he was going to street because no one helped him. His mother's not strong with life to help him and to take him to school.
He's been just living in the streets, and now he's hopping from friend's place to friend's place every night to sleep. He's been living on a day-to-day basis. Every time tourists come and take a picture, they pay him like 1,000 bir, 2,000 bir. Sometimes they don't pay him, they just take his picture and leave. With that money, he's able to survive, and actually every Sunday he uses his own money to go visit his mom and give her some money to support her. I think it's really unfair that he's not being fairly compensated. He's doing model's work, and in Europe and in the West he would be paid a lot of money for these pictures, but here people just come and take advantage of him.
The photographer actually, they take him photo, but they sell the photo a lot of money, at least $4,000, $3,000. But I didn't use anything.
Abuche's dream is to go to school and to help other kids out of poverty and out of the streets. I think that's really beautiful because he knows how hard it is, how tough it is outside.
Maybe if they are using my photo, is that okay? But I want to go to school. Maybe when they are giving me some money, I can buy with that exercise book, pen or something like that. I'm going to be 17. He's grade 4.
4?
Yeah.
Grade 4.
He said, I want to go to school, learn, and I want to help like me. They are living on the street. When I finish my school, when I get a job, I want to help them too.
He just wants to help other kids who are not as fortunate as him to be able to have a little bit of a source of income through his blue eyes, which is such a big strike of luck, Yeah. Does he want to come?
Ah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said yeah.
Sure, let's take him.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Take him.
To reach the Mursi, we drive out of Jinka and into Mago National Park, a huge lowland area surrounded by mountains.
The Mursi tribe is inside the national park.
Yes,
Mago
exactly.
National Park.
Yeah.
Little pit stop for view.
Now we're gonna drive through the valley and we cross the savannah there, then we'll be in the village. So there are like several different villages, Mursi, like we're just going to the closest one. The others are beyond the mountain. So that you need to have 2 days, 3 days.
To go to the other ones.
2 days, 3 days making camping to see a different tribe, remote people there.
So Abuche, a lot of tour guides come and take him with
the tourists and get good quality pictures.
Yeah.
He don't get any benefit, Abuche. So they used him, taking him as a model, you know.
Yeah.
So he's not happy, Abuche, with that. Abuche want to go to school and want to study. That's what he want. But everyone come where he live and they take him. You have to go and get education. He need to get his own business, you know. He have to handle his own things. Yeah.
That's why we started his Instagram.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
made
that's
him-
better, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody did that. Nobody did that.
Now they will have to tag him. If
Exactly.
They post his photo.
Exactly.
We've made it to the Mursi tribe, and they're very distinct. They have very distinct features, very distinct signs of beauty. Chale. Chale. Chale is how you say hello in the Mursi language. So this is our daily routine. Like getting to a new village, we try to first of all switch the cameras off for the first 30 minutes, hour, sometimes 2-3 hours, and try to understand a little bit of the language to be able to connect. It's my name, Flo.
Flo.
Flo. Your name?
Abuche.
Abuche?
Nate.
Nate. Abuche, Nate. Flo.
Flo.
Flo. Abuche and Nate are very beautiful girls.
Abuche Nate.
Yeah, and they've been showing me their different jewelry that they're wearing. So they wear a lot of bracelets, anklets. They have scarifications on their skin. It's kind of like a tattoo. And also the lip plates and the big earrings. They also use face paint, and it's kind of like a clay that they use, red and white. And they use the same paint to color the lip plates and the earrings. It's very, very fascinating to see. Hello.
Hello.
Challe.
Chale.
Challe.
The Mursi tribe, they make them so unique, the lip plate and with the stick fighting ceremony. That makes them different from the other tribe. The lip plate showing that beatness. Before family dominate you to have that, but nowadays it's your interest, you know. They stop doing that because when they get old, sometimes they get infection on the lip.
I know scarification is a part of the culture here, and I can see that the girls are showing me proudly. With the razor! Oh! But I'd be lying if I said it's not difficult to look at. Since arriving in the Omo Valley, I've seen these scars on women again and again. And I didn't document this much, but with the camera switched off, we learned a lot about some of the darker sides of tradition here. The whipping ceremonies, child marriage, forced marriage, and female genital mutilation. And it's difficult because I want to be open-minded. Who am I to judge, you know? But at the same time, some things are hard to just accept as culture. Where do you draw the line between respecting tradition and protecting women's and children's rights? I noticed that there are NGOs and local campaigns here trying to raise awareness about some of these practices too. Anyway, I don't really know what to think yet. I guess I'm sharing this because I don't want to just show the beautiful side of the Omo Valley. For me, filming respectfully also means not romanticizing everything.
We brought Abuche with us to the village, and he's very, very excited to be walking around and being behind the camera and take photos himself. Usually he's the one who's being photographed, but today he's able to photograph the environment, the people that he's meeting, and so it's really cool to see.
Some of the Mursi women are sitting down, grinding red ochre stones with a splash of water to make body paint.
The red color is coming from this rock, and then I think they're going to add some white. And this white color comes from sorghum, which is one of the staple crops that we've seen all over the Omo Valley.
Interesting.
And it tastes really good too.
Oh, they're very precise. Feels like a clay mask.
Yeah, it feels like the face paint that I would have at like a carnival back home.
Abuche is also getting painted.
The results are quite cool, and I noticed that the lady who made the paint is wearing a lip plate decorated with the same colors as she used on the boys' faces. I can't imagine how long it must have taken to stretch her lip like that. That's one of the things the Mursi are most known for, so they also paint the same patterns onto little figurines they sell as souvenirs.
Starting from early morning, some of them they go to the field, some of them they go to the families, and some of them they go for the cattle. Everyone will come at the evening and stay.
Before sunset.
Yeah, before the sunset, and they stay here in the village.
And how did you learn Mursi?
I learned it because I often come here and make camping together here. Mursi people come to my place. I let them stay there.
When they come to Jinka, they can stay
Yes,
with you.
exactly. That's why we learn each other.
That's amazing.
This like one hut, 5% or 6% sleep, but most of the time they don't sleep inside. If it rain against them, they go inside. So they prepare sleeping outside,
Outside,
with the fire. When they they move from here, this house stays for 3 months. Eventually, they may come and settle again in the same place. So they just maintain the house.
So they're like semi-nomadic, like they move sometimes?
Yeah, they move. Yeah, for like 4 months, 5 months, they stay here.
It depends on the cattle, or
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. When they have a good grazing grass, water for the cattle, they stay in one place. He's asking for a photo.
Asking for a photo? What's a stick?
You guys know how to pose?
What's it? Donga.
Donga. Donga. Whoa! Very cool.
So every young boy participate in adulthood, they fight village to the village. It's not the time to see, they have a season to do that.
Donga fighting is a part of the ceremonies of the Mursi. It's a rite of passage, it's a way to assert your manliness, and I guess it can get really violent sometimes because they are merciless.
Unfortunately, because this village is quite far from Jinka, we aren't spending the night here. So this is only a short visit. While we're here, we see several cars of tourists arrive, just like us, take photos, and leave. In my previous video, I shared some thoughts about this and about my internal debate around ethical tourism. And now I'm here, and I'm not sure what I can understand and film with limited time. A few days ago, when we visited the Hammer tribe, the kids loved the chance to be behind the camera and show us life in their village. So I decided to do the same here. I gave my GoPro to the young girls who seemed the most keen.
This is a camera? You can also see like this? Like this? Hello? You want to take it? You can go, you can film whatever you want in the village.
And about half an hour later, they come back to me.
Is it still recording? Oh, very nice. Thank you. We got the camera back. I'm so curious to see what's on this.
لكن أول وقت أنا ما تكيتش
I just caught a glimpse of what the girls filmed on the GoPro, and it's so fascinating to see what they're proud of, what their favorite things about the village is, and what they would share if they had the opportunity to do so and to speak, because it's really difficult to communicate with us and with them because we don't speak the same language. But I feel like giving them the camera is a way to empower them to communicate whatever they want in a visual way, and it's so beautiful. I'm so excited to see this footage.
This week in the Omo Valley has been so interesting, and I learned a lot. I spent time with the Hammer, the Dasanach, the Karo, and the Mursi. I slowed down, learned a few words, observed daily routines, and tried to understand this way of life that is so different from mine. I think having Gideon here was awesome too. Seeing him discover this part of his roots was so special. I questioned my beliefs and my idea of tourism. What are my responsibilities as a traveler? How do I film whilst being respectful? Meeting Abuche made that even more real because his face has been photographed by people from all over the world, but he still has his own story and dreams, you know? I don't really know the answer to all these questions yet, but as complicated as it was and as conflicted as I felt, I'm so glad I came here, because the Omo Valley is not frozen in time. Everywhere we went, there were signs of change. Phones, schools, tourists, climate pressure, and traditions changing too. I don't know what the future holds for the people of the Omo Valley, but I do know that I will never forget them and the moments we spent together. Without even knowing it, they taught me that sometimes when traveling, it's not just about seeing new places, but slowing down enough to understand them.
Hello, Amanuel.
Yes. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for Abuche.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Now that the Omo Valley side quest is over, it's time to get back to Addis and get back on the bike, because the adventure continues and Kenya is calling.